Now that the interview's pretty much over, right? And you know, a lot of people are gonna say, man, you pressed her about the sex questions and this and that. But how do you feel kind of, you know, expressing that stuff and, you know, kind of releasing it? How do you feel at this point? I mean, I'm just gonna ask, right? Did anything like ever happen to you when you was younger?
No comment. I just don't want to talk about it. But I mean, you know, he'll make me come in there with him and he'll sit down. We had a long sectional. He was sitting all the way at the end by the door, and I was sitting right here, and I was just sitting there. I'll never forget, I had on a white nightgown dress.
Did you go to high school?
You know.
No? Why not?
I never got a chance to go to high school.
Why?
Because
how did it make you feel?
It made me feel less than.
What's up, YouTube? Make sure you tap into my Instagram at Marcus the Interviewer. I'm gonna be posting some exclusive content like this stuff right here that you didn't get to see on YouTube. So tap in with me on Instagram. Now back to the content. What's up, YouTube? Atlanta Street Interviews out here with another one. So we got a young lady with us today. How you doing today, miss?
All right.
All right. So are you homeless?
Yeah.
Okay. And so how old are you?
27.
27? And so how long have you been homeless?
For like 2 years now.
2 years? What was it that happened 2 years ago that caused you to become homeless?
I just never had my own place, so I've been going from house to house ever since I got on my own.
Okay, get on your own, that was like 18?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so, you know, 2 years ago, you had a roof over your head, and then the next night you didn't. What happened in between those 24 hours?
I was staying with my parents, and, my grandparents, and, there was a lot of, I guess you could say, I don't know, but it just didn't work out there. And
I mean, was there arguments? Was it fights? Was it,
It was a lot of like judgmental things going on, even though I had my own job and stuff. Comparing me to other girls my age, basically saying I should be, further than I am type shit. And I had been going through a lot that whole year before I even was homeless. I had broke up with my ex. She basically just like said f me and my family, like my cousin. She just said f me, even though I was helping her to, help her out, because I'm staying with her. I help out if I stay with somebody, but
okay.
And then my so-called best friend, I guess I ain't want to do the street shit with her and be her wingman no more, so she just started, acting funny until she, decided to put me out. So really, I just
what was the street stuff?
Like, running the streets, talking to different guys, doing drugs, stuff like that.
Okay. All right. And so, all right. Do you have any kids?
No.
No? Okay. Have you ever been married?
No.
Okay. All right, so let's just start from the beginning. So, where you from?
Columbus, Georgia.
You from Columbus? Hey, man. Shout out that 706, man. Shout out that Columbus, Georgia. Yes, sir. We just did a follow-up with one of our kind of popular interviewees, Too Tall Lulu, man. Shout out to that boy Lulu, man, from Columbus as well. Yes, sir. All right, so growing up in Columbus, did you have both mom and dad in the household?
No, just my mom.
Just mom? So, as far as it goes, was he like active and present in your life, or?
No.
Okay, so just like completely non-existent, or just very much so little?
Like, I know who he is, but he ain't there. Like, he's not there for nothing. He's not there to help my mom. He's not there financially. He's not there emotionally. So basically, non-existent.
Okay. Do you have any siblings?
Yes, I have 5 other siblings.
Okay, and how many of them did you grow up in the house with?
5 of them.
Okay, and so where are you in the birth order?
I'm the oldest. Okay,
you're the oldest. All right. And so growing up, would you say that you had like a fairly normal childhood?
From 1 to 11, yeah.
What happened after that?
And then stuff just got tough because my mama was a single parent, struggling, in the hood, trying to make it. shit like that. You know.
Well, what was the difference when you were in between 1 and 11? Like, y'all wasn't struggling in or whatever? Or?
We was, but you know, it just was easier, and I didn't have nothing to worry about. I didn't start paying attention to a lot of stuff going on in my life around me until I was 11.
Kind of became more conscious or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I mean, I'm just going to ask, right? Did anything like ever happen to you when you was younger?
No comment. I just don't want to talk about it. But I mean, you know, growing up in a black family, you know how mostly it's you know what happens in black. I just don't want to talk about it.
I get it. I get it. Just to let you know about this channel, right? So on this channel, right, we tend to hear these type of stories all the time. And what it does, it kind of helps us to identify how these things happen to girls when they're younger. And so it's not like, you know, definitely not trying to re-traumatize you or anything like that. But if it is something that you did want to, you know, be open about and express, we appreciate hearing kind of how these things happen and how it affects you after that point, you know?
Well, it affected me in a way, like when it came to my self-esteem and growing up poor and not having a lot of stuff as other people with kids and shit, and having to be around people, you know what I'm saying, that, you
like
know.
What age did it happen or whatever?
Well, like, probably 11.
So the same age that you're talking about. And see, that's why I asked the question. Because when people have a specific kind of age where things kind of shifted, it normally is a clear indicator that maybe something happened at that age. Was that something, because you mentioned about it being like, you know, kind of in the family or whatever?
Yeah.
It was in the family type of deal?
Yeah.
Okay. Was that like a one-time thing or was it ongoing?
It was an ongoing thing.
Up to what age?
I was still 11. I got out of there when I was 12. We moved.
And so did you ever tell anybody that was going on?
No.
No? Have you told anybody up to this point?
My wife. Probably my,
Have you told your mom?
Yeah, I told her when I was like 18.
What was her response?
She was upset with me because I didn't tell her nothing about it. But she always told me to come to her when something happens, if anything happens, because she went through it in her life, you know what I'm saying? So it's just I was young and scared and I didn't know what to do, so I kept it to myself as long as I could.
Do you think that if your dad would have been more present in your life, that something like that would have either happened, or you would have maybe felt comfortable or more brave to tell?
I don't think if I had an active dad that really loved and cared about me genuinely, I don't think that would have happened, no.
This family member, were they older than you?
Yeah.
Did they live in the house with you, or?
Mm-hmm. We lived in the same house.
Okay. And so, I mean, the reaction that your mom had, did she ever say like, well, you know? She
was hurt and she was, you know, angry at me, and she was hurt and she like couldn't really believe it because she protected us from a lot of stuff, like, you know, like that, but I guess she couldn't protect us from everything because she was doing it by herself. So
what effect do you think that has had on your life? Like, I noticed, you know, you're I guess a lesbian, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so when did you start to, I guess, know that you was a lesbian?
I knew that ever since I was 5.
Okay, so you've known that since you was a little girl.
Yeah.
Do you think that happening to you kind of turned you off from guys?
Actually, it turned me on to guys, and later on in life, after I like realized like who I am and what I'm interested in, that's when I realized, like, yeah, no.
So for a period, you was living as a heterosexual woman.
Yeah.
What age did that stop?
I'm gonna say 18.
18?
Yeah.
And so you're saying that from kind of 11 to 18, you was, I guess, hypersexual?
Yeah, I always wanted to date girls, but back in the days, you know, they wasn't with it. You know what I'm saying? So it was like shunned upon, and then on top of that, when you did meet with somebody, they wasn't really into girls for real. They just wanted to try something, and I just didn't want to be nobody play toy. So I just went with what was convenient. So men was so.
Okay. So have you ever talked to the person that did that?
Yeah.
And what have those conversations been like?
Basically, the dude didn't want to take responsibility for it. You know what I'm saying? He tried to make it seem like I was like asking for it or something, but I was a child and he was like 18, 17, you know. And it was a lot, you know. And he was always the type of dude, like, he'll come back, like, you try to be far away from him, he'll just one day you'll assume he gone, like he ain't thinking about nothing like that, or thinking about the dude. He'll like just pop up and then he'll like trigger me all over again.
Have you seen him in like family events or anything like that?
No, because he really ain't like family. He was my mama boyfriend, nephew, like type shit. So. Okay,
so it was almost like a stepbrother type of deal.
Like a step cousin, like a step cousin, because that was my mama's boyfriend nephew.
Right.
So
right.
Like a step cousin, yeah.
Huh. And so if someone were to approach him about this, his story would be that you, I guess, wanted it, or you were asking for it,
or I was high or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, so you used to get high back then or whatnot?
No, I just was sassy all the time. I was a little sassy, you know. Bossy, I always been bossy and feisty. I just always been like that. And plus, I was the only girl around a whole bunch of boys, so
right.
Only had brothers.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Did they ever know that happened to you?
I told them, but I don't think they remember, because I told them they was little, and I told them don't ever tell no one until I'm ready to tell someone. So I don't think they remember that. No.
So I mean, what do you think their reaction would be if they happen to come across this video on YouTube?
I don't know. I really don't care.
Okay. So, because as far as it goes, like, did you go to high school?
No.
No? Mm-hmm. Why not?
I never got a chance to go to high school.
Why?
Because I had to be there for my mama when she was working, and my brother and sister and them needed to be watched and stuff. Like, I needed to watch them. I couldn't focus on school for real, and it was hard for me. And I was like ADHD too, so it was it had to be something interesting, or you have to take me step by step so I can learn it. But the teachers back in the days, they wasn't willing to do that.
What high school did you go to?
I didn't go to high school.
Oh, you didn't go to high school at all? What middle school?
I went to South Girard. I went to PCIS.
Okay.
I went to Baker. That's it.
So, and I mean, I get that, you know, at that age, it's kind of like, all right, well, if you got responsibilities, things to do that you can help out with, and then if you're already ADHD, it's kind of an uphill battle anyway. But what was your mom's?
School was kind of hard for me because, you know, it was hard being poor, you know, not having the stuff everybody else
not
has,
being able
to,
especially in Atlanta, it's kind of like everybody want to shine.
I was in Columbus, you know.
You was in Columbus, so yeah, that's right, that's right.
You know, it was hard being around people that, you know, got good lives and shit, you know what I'm saying, that got 2 parents in the house, you know what I'm saying, that got all the new J's.
How did it make you feel?
It made me feel less than. And, you know, they used to say little slick shit, talk shit. Like, ain't nobody really just, like, bully me, like, beat me up in school. But, you know, the talking about me, that was a thing. And that shit kind of traumatized me. And as I got older, you know what I'm saying, with my self-esteem. Especially since it already was low ever since I was, like, 11. So. And then jealousy, the jealousy part comes from my dad left my mom for another woman, you know what I'm saying, when they were married, and he didn't have nothing to do with us after that. And he was in their lives and wasn't in ours. And like my mama used to come over there and take us over there like when we was little and shit. Like when my dad did, I guess wanted to try, but my dad he lazy, he nasty, he just, my mama said she stopped bringing us over there because every time she came over there, our diaper always was pissy and the house always was nasty, so we stopped going up there.
I mean, have you had a chance to talk to him since you've been an adult?
Yeah, and all he can say is, I ain't know how to be a dad, and that's it. That's
well, I mean, did you point out that he was a dad to his other family? Was he a good dad to his other family?
Obviously, he wasn't a good dad to them. He stepped down on all those relationships too. So.
Okay. So what's y'all's relationship like today?
I talk to him because he's my dad and I love him. I just want to make sure he alright because he got diabetes and shit. But other than that, we don't really got no relationship.
Okay. Well, I mean, one of the things that we do on this channel, right, is we have conversations with people sometimes when they're not right in front of us. Sometimes it's easier to kind of get out how we feel, whatever our feelings are, just anything that we may want to say or want them to know, you know. Is there anything you want to express to your dad right now?
Actually, I already did. We talked on the phone. All he could say was...
Well, what'd you tell him?
I said, I feel like a lot of stuff that happened in my life could have been, you know, better if you was there. If you was there to help my mom. If you was there to, you know, when I needed my dad. You know what I'm saying? When I needed to learn how to be treated as a woman. When I needed to learn how to, you know what I'm saying, just...
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm a dad. I'm a dad of 2 girls, so everything, all of the stuff.
He wasn't there, so.
Well, and I see that still has an effect on you.
Yeah, because it's like he's not gonna do nothing else, and I love him, and I'm willing to give him a chance, but it's like I'm already grown. He can't teach me nothing that I don't know already. So
well, but he can love you. He can love on you, you know.
But
do you want him to do that?
No. Because like he had a chance to do that. I'm at a point now where I just want you to be there to make sure that you okay. You know what I'm saying? I just want to make sure you good. You know what I'm saying? Make sure your health okay.
If he came to you and he said, "Listen, I've worked on myself. I've had some therapy, and I really do want to kind of make up or pick up from here and have the best relationship we could have from this point forward." What would be your response?
That'll be like a great, but he's a liar, so I don't believe that. He sold me so many dreams that he never, that's why I hate getting my hopes up, you know what I'm saying? Because every time I get my hopes up, it don't never work. So when I got my hopes up, when my dad was like, okay, I want you to be in, when he was like, I want to be in your life, I want to be your dad, and such and such. I'm willing to let him, and he never showed up. And then I be like, dang, you don't call me or nothing. He be like, well, y'all know where the phone at, call me. I should have to call y'all my kids, and I just don't get that. It should be the other way around. If you know you wasn't there in the future, you got to work to have a relationship. In the past, you got to work to have a relationship in the future. That's how I feel.
I mean, I agree from that perspective. Okay. Okay. All right, so at this point, we didn't go to high school, so I understand why it's been a struggle, Another reason why I didn't go to high school because I was going to South Gerard, and I had got sent to the brick about my shirt, I guess because my bra was showing under my shirt, but they never said nothing to all the other girls who used to just wear all what the fuck they want. They never said nothing to them. They always said something to me. That's how I felt. So he sent me to the brick, and I would have been passing my classes, but nobody at my school was sending me work. I was just sitting in class every day, so I failed 8th grade like a couple times until I just said, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I got my high school diploma, but I had to go through job corps to get that. And I did that when I was like, I'm going to say 20. Okay. Well, congrats for that. Definitely congrats for that. But, yeah, I understand. It's basically, when you're a low-income wage earner out here, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. And if you miss any type of paycheck, if there's any type of gap in income, then you can end up out here. So at this point, you don't have any kids, you don't have anything like that. So what are we doing to try to get ourselves out of this position of homelessness?
Well, I'm just trying to work and save more because I'm not good with saving. Because all the stuff that I didn't have when I grew up, I be wanting to get that now since I'm an adult, you know what I'm saying? But now that I realize that I have to put my responsibilities first and then what I want last. So that's what I'm working on now, trying to keep a job, and I'm getting my place very soon. So just waiting on that.
Okay, so you're already in the system and, you know, kind of getting all that going. You already got that going. You're just waiting?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, if anybody out there wanted to reach out, help, or donate, do you have a way they could do that? Do you have social media, Cash App, anything like that?
Cash App.
What's your Cash App?
Nedog, capital N-I-E, capital N-I-E, capital D-A-W-G-G.
Okay, all right, Nedog. Well, like I say, we really appreciate you. So, listen, now that the interview's pretty much over, right? Mm-hmm. And, you know, a lot of people are going to say, man, you pressed her about the sex questions and this and that. But how do you feel kind of, you know, expressing that stuff and, you know, kind of releasing it? How do you feel at this point?
I mean, it ain't no thing for real. I guess I speak about it a lot when it comes to my wife. I just don't speak to the public about it. So I guess this is the first time for everything. Right now it feels normal.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I really appreciate you, you know, expressing that and kind of sharing that with us. Like I say, when we get to put together all these stories and we get to kind of make a Venn diagram of what's the commonalities, what do we hear a lot, you know, then we can start to kind of understand, okay, what's going on and how can we prevent it, you know?
I'm thinking sexual abuse in black families, fatherless.
Well, I mean, the sexual abuse part specifically. Like I said, I have daughters, so I'm specifically interested in, like, how do these things happen? Like,
it happens because, okay, so mine happened, like, my mom trusted the dude, you feel me? And when she'll go out and, like, handle business, pay bills, or work a job or something, she'll, like, okay, well, nephew, I need you to watch my kids, you know what I'm saying? Like that. And it'll happen like that. It'll be the people that you trust.
Did he force himself on you or whatever, or how did it get to the point where y'all were, you know, having sex?
It was basically like I don't know how to say it, but all I know is I went in the bathroom and he was behind me, and next thing I know, I was on the sink and I was like, I don't want to do it, no. And he was like, be quiet, I ain't gonna hurt you. You don't want your brother and them to hear you hollering and stuff. So I said no, and I just let it happen, and I bled everywhere.
Oof. That was your first time being penetrated. Oh. And so, I mean, the times after that, was he like
doing it the same thing,
forcing, basically?
Like he'll force it. Like, I'll be in there with my brother and them, and we'll get to arguing because I had my own room because I'm the only girl, and I had my own TV and my own bed and stuff like that. And my brother and them would come in there and watch TV in my room, and like I be wanting to watch my shows, and we'll argue about that. You know what brothers and sisters argue about, you know. So, and then he'll be like, well, you know what, I'm gonna cease all of that. You come here with me and the boys stay in your room. And I'm like, this is my room. If anybody need to leave, it's them. You know what I'm saying? And he'll make me come in there with him, and he'll sit down. We had a long sectional. He was sitting all the way at the end by the door, and I was sitting right here, and I was just sitting there. I'll never forget, I had on a white nightgown dress. And he was like, why you so far away? Come closer. And I was like, no. He's like, you scared and shit. And then slowly I just started, you know, scooting over, you know what I'm saying? Because I just didn't know. I was a child, and it's like, I don't know. So then it happened, and then, I mean, it kept happening, and then we left. He ended up, my mama he ended up staying with somebody else, and we ended up leaving and going to Phoenix City, Alabama, and that's how I got away from that. But I wasn't gonna tell my mom because I know how my mom is. She a little crazy, and he the type of dude where, like, he'll hurt my mom too. Like, he a type of dude, like, if she was the came for him, like, with some shit like, oh, you did something to my daughter, it's gonna be blood, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want nothing to happen to my mom, so I kept it to myself.
Oof. Okay. All right. Well, like I say, we really appreciate you, and we definitely wish you and your girlfriend nothing but the best out here. All right. Y'all make sure y'all have a good one. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So we just got done with the interview. So how do you feel?
I feel a little better than I was feeling before we did it. So.
Why do you think that is?
I mean, because I'm always the type of person that want to help other women like myself. And I used to want to be a social media personality, but nobody takes me serious because I really don't do all the makeup and all the, hair. I don't do lashes and hair, and I don't, I'm not popping. You feel me? So
everybody thinks that you have to be popping, but the truth is you just have to have a story.
Yeah.
And you have to be willing to share it because that's how you can gain an audience. You know what I'm saying?
But
so,
I shared a little of my stuff on social media, but it was just like for my Colombian audience. It wasn't like worldwide, you know what I'm saying? So I want to get into that one day.
What is your IG and Facebook, by the way?
I have, my Facebook is Niecy Frazier.
Okay.
I don't have an IG, but yeah, I want to help other women like me, like with the issues that I deal with from all the stuff that I've been through in my life in an early age. I want to help women like me because I'm still healing. I'm not all the way there yet. I still have issues. I still have low self-esteem problems. I still have PTSD and trauma from a lot of shit.
You should vlog your journey, the ups and the downs. You should just vlog it. That'll help. People who have gone through the same things can all band together and become a tribe. And so I would say document it. Document your journey, the good, the bad. See, the thing about it is you cannot be afraid to document the bad and the ugly. Because everybody wants to shine, everybody wants to look good.
Judgmental.
But you gotta and that's where you have to decide if it's something you really want to do.
Yeah,
because content is always gonna have judgment.
Yeah,
like trust me, I get judged. I'm gonna get judged for all the questions that I asked you earlier. Trust me. Okay, so they're gonna talk some shit, but it's all good as long as you feel better, and as long as you feel comfortable, then I feel good. So. All right, well, like I say, we appreciate you, all right? All right, sweetie.